We're rude, man. I mean, you make Mike Elias wait. And while he's waiting, he's watching us eat high-end steaks. He doesn't get any. And now we're like all sleepy tired because we have full bellies. I feel bad for you.
And we didn't have the right sauce. We didn't have the Oreo sauce.
Oreo sauce on there. What kind of Oreo sauce would it be?
I'm starving, too.
We appreciate your patience, Mike. Let's start there. Should we have had a Baltimore Orioles steak sauce on this desk?
Absolutely.
Really? Tell me why. Tell me why.
Well, we've got plenty of good flavors in Maryland. It's usually, I was insulted. I mean, I'm coming up on the segment. I see the rest of the AL East. You guys are eating steak. I've been sitting up there eating Cheetos all day in the suite, not getting any sunlight.
Are you guys ready to pair your team with a lot of free agents? Are you guys very active right now?
We are very active. We actually just signed 2 players a few minutes ago. Tyler O'Neill, power hitting outfielder, and Gary Sanchez, power hitting catcher. So very excited about that. A lot of conversations going on, as we all know, and we're still active. We're out there looking for pitching like everybody, but we're working very hard right now to do what we can to improve our roster and put ourselves back in the playoffs.
Why was Tyler O'Neill so attractive for the Baltimore Orioles?
We have an outfield mix right now with a bunch of really good left-handed hitters. We've got Colton Cowser, almost won Rookie of the Year, Cedric Mullins, who's been one of our star players for years, Heston Kjerstad, big up-and-coming bat,
Yep.
Ryan O'Hearn, and Tyler brings right-handed production and power. He absolutely creams left-handed pitching. He's a really good defender for a power hitter, guy that can run a little bit, do a little bit of everything. I think it's a great blend for our lineup, and really excited to see him in the middle of our lineup this season with those guys.
I want to talk about a left-handed bat that we were all so excited to see come up last year, but he scuffled a little bit, up and down, and got a little hot for a couple weeks. But where does Jackson Holliday stand coming into spring training in 2025? Is he in the mix to be in that starting lineup?
Yeah, I think he's a guy that we're counting on. He's somebody that got called into duty in the second half. We had a lot of injuries, and he was polishing his game in AAA, but we brought him up after Jordan Westberg got hurt and Ramon Urias got hurt. We started losing some players. Jorge Mateo got hurt, and he was thrust into an everyday role in the playoff race at a very young age, 20-year-old kid. One of the brightest talents in the sport. I think he's going to be a really special hitter, and he's somebody that I think we're looking to take a big leap this year now that he's seen what the big leagues are all about, and he's gone through some struggles at the major league level like almost every young player does this day and age. But this guy is a really exciting, prodigious, special young hitter, and I think he's going to have a great career.
Can I talk about the wall?
Yeah, I knew you were going there.
So I thought it was brilliant when you moved the wall back. Made you instantly competitive. We looked at the numbers. The 5 seasons before the wall was moved back, your team ERA was over 5. The 5 seasons after it's right here. This is a dramatic change. 3.79 since you guys moved the wall back. So my question is, why are you moving the wall in again?
Because I wanted to sign Tyler O'Neill and Gary Sanchez. You
think they would have come if the thing's $3.95?
No, look. Here's the wall. Camden Yards up until 2021 was very, very cozy. It was the second most homer-prone park in baseball after Coors Field. Very cozy. We needed more real estate out there. That was the only part of the park that we could change. The rest of it, there was cement and a warehouse and all kinds of stuff. This was the only area that we could adjust. So we did it. It had the desired effect of lowering the home run totals, but it was just too concentrated in one part of the park, and it was kind of a distraction, driving some of our hitters crazy, and we overcorrected. So we're not moving it all the way back in. We're moving it about halfway back. The fence is going to be a little bit lower. I'm hopeful that it's going to be more of a happier medium. I still am glad that we moved it initially, but we adjust and modify and correct in this business, and we think this is going to be kind of better all around, a better balance.
What's your take on, obviously Corbin Burns is testing free agency and going to get absolutely paid, but having that legit, I look at your rotation projected, the Eflins, Grayson Rodriguez, Kramer, all great pitchers, but that bona fide ace at the top, was it a different feel last year having that?
Yeah, he was awesome for us last year. I mean, we made a really big trade to bring him in. Not easy to get a #1 starter in this business. Everyone's after it, and we were able to make the trade. The trade worked out well from our standpoint. I mean, he pitched great and spun a gem in the playoffs. We just weren't scoring at the time. We weren't able to advance, and it was a shame. But yeah, he's got a special blend right now of a track record of durability, but also front of the rotation type impact talent. And we'd love to bring him back, but there's a lot of competition for a guy. Every team can use a guy like this. So that's what we're all here at the winter meetings doing, but it's something that we're working on, and he was tremendous for us.
Mike, when you see where the contracts are going, obviously we saw what Soto signed for the other day, and you have so many good young players. I mean, especially Adley Rutschman, a Gunnar Henderson, who's one of the best players in the game. As you know, as the GM, are you looking at and looking into the future, saying, "Man, we'd like to really lock these guys up soon"?
Yeah, we've got a lot of players that, young players, you look at them, you're like, boy, I wish we had these guys longer than we currently have them contracted for. And absolutely, it's something that we work on quietly in the background and hope to do. But you see the competition for elite talent. And, you see where they tend to go. It tends to be big market teams. And, some of those big stuff that's happened the last few days reflects that. But we're making the best effort possible. We've got a wonderful new ownership group that's trying to infuse the franchise with everything possible to bring it to the highest level that it can be in Baltimore. And we got a great baseball town, great fans, and we're gonna win for a while, we think. And I think it's a really good place to play.
Do you enjoy the trade deadline? Because I feel like your name is said more than any other front office executive, because after so many lean years in Baltimore, that fan base come trade deadline, you're in the mix now. You guys are a perennial contender, young team. They want you to make that big splash move. They're always wanting you to make that big trade piece to go for it. You're hesitant to do it, it seems like. So do you enjoy the trade deadline personally? Do you like it?
It's a lot of work. It's all hours, and there's a lot that goes into it. We made some aggressive moves at this deadline. Brought in Zach Eflin, who's been just a perfect fit, and we're really happy to have him back next year. So it's something that's in our toolbox as we have a team that's going to the playoffs. You can't help but try to plug your holes at the trade deadline. Now, it's not something you can always do, and when you have a lot of good prospects, it's hard to get teams off of the top names on your list sometimes, and that's been the case the last few years. But it's a big part of the year for us, and I hope we're in the position again this July to be buyers. That'd be great.
You had to be bummed to see Soto leave your division, right?
Am I allowed to talk about that yet? 'Cause I can't wait to talk about it.
I think you can. As long as it's not official to your team, you can talk about anything.
Yeah, not crying too hard if he ends up leaving the division. That two-headed monster, left-handed, right-handed, him and Judge, that's really special, and it's a hard thing to pitch to. And but the thing is, if the Yankees lose him, I'm sure they're going to make some other really good moves too. So we'll see what happens.
We're going to try to make a good move to get you a steak before you walk on the set. So we're all done with the interview, but we need to feed you, man. We feel bad. Okay.
Thank you.
Mike
I'll
Elias.
come back on if you give me steak.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Mike. We just made a negotiation.
He looks like a 10-ounce filet, bone in.
Nail me.
Wow. Nice.
There you go.
A connoisseur. The steak connoisseurs. Mike Elias, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.